Investors Guide. I'm glad you joined us on the show this week. We've had quite a week, really. The market has been seesawing, and inflation that we heard during the week inching closer and closer towards 10%. So we are going to continue planning your portfolios, answering your questions, and finding that best possible investment option for you. Remember, you can write to us on the email ID at the bottom of your screen. Send us any questions you might have about your money, whether it's spending, saving, or investing. Let's get straight to it. Over the next half hour, we'll find out if NCDs or non-convertible debentures are better options than fixed deposits for you. We'll also review the Reliance Equity Opportunities Fund and find out if that's the fund you should be investing in. And of course, Arun Thakral, the Managing Director of CIBIL, joins us in the studio to answer your questions about your credit report. Alright, all of that coming up later on the show, but first let me introduce Dhirendra Kumar, the CEO of Value Research and our in-house mutual fund expert who joins us on the show every week. Dhirendra, thank you so much for joining us on Investors Guide. Let's get straight to our portfolio versus portfolio questions. Alok Kumar Sinha has written in. He's 32 years old and he has an annual salary of 5 lakh rupees. Now he aims to retire at 60, which means he has 28 years to go, and he wants to retire with a corpus of 3 crore rupees. 2 crore rupees he wants to be used for his children's education and their marriage, and 1 crore for his own retirement. Now, he sent us a list of his investments, Rena. He puts about 50,000 rupees a year into 2 insurance plans. He also has, voluntary contribution going into the Provident Fund every month of 10,000 rupees. He has some money in the PF and the PPF, and a fixed deposit of 1.75 lakh rupees. He also has a fairly handsome amount in his medical claim policy as well. Now, these are his mutual fund investments: Reliance Regular Savings Equity, Reliance Gold Fund, Sundaram Select Mid Cap, and Sundaram Equity Plus. He invests 4,000 rupees in these funds every month, which calculates to roughly about 2 lakh rupees at the end of the year. Now, if you look at his investments, 50,000 rupees a year on insurance, 2 lakh into mutual funds, and a lot of money going into his fixed income plans there with the PPF and the fixed deposit. Do you think he needs to relook at his allocation altogether if he wants to make that target of 3 crore rupees?
First, I would like to warn him that, he has set up a target, and that target may not be enough because he is still 28 years away. If he's thinking of, 3 crore is good enough today, that may not be good enough 28 years later. So he should, be more aggressive with his portfolio, and he has all the time on his side. And the mutual fund portfolio does not require much effort. I think he needs to completely reprioritize. He's a state PSU employee. His Provident Fund deduction, that is a fixed income allocation. He has enhanced it further. So looking at that, I think he just should have 3-4 points which he should follow, 4 principles to follow. One is that he should get adequate term cover. He should not have any additional fixed income investment beyond his mandatory or the statutory deduction on account of PF, which is a fixed income, and that is good enough. He should have the emergency fund, and he should ensure that he has the reasonable medical cover, which he think he has, or which I think he has, is sufficiently covered there. And all his residual money should get into a good equity fund, and he should map his equity portfolio to our aggressive portfolio. Maybe he should, 10 years later, he should think of, moving a notch down to a growth portfolio, or, maybe 15 years later, because he has all the time. And even in our aggressive portfolio, he can knock the fixed income allocation. He does not need to rebalance it. His fixed income allocation is taken care of by his PS.
Alok, so remember, that's the advice you're getting right now. You have 28 years. Now, 3 crore rupees might not be worth as much at the end of 30 years as it is today. So you might want to revisit your target altogether. And Dhirendra, we are telling you, keep in mind the basics that we talk about on this show. Always have an emergency fund, which could be that fixed deposit that you have. Then make sure you have enough life insurance, 10 times your annual income, health insurance, which you seem to have already. Rest of the money should be going into equity, especially if you have 30 years on your side. It will help you achieve those goals, and it will help you beat inflation in the long term. Let's move on now quickly to our hold or sell segment. So Naveen Gupta has written in. He tells us he began investing in mutual funds in 2005 and 6. That was 5 years ago. And he's not happy with the returns that he's made. He tells us he would have made better returns had he just put his money in a fixed deposit 5 years ago. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of investors will be facing this problem. It's well and good to have a 5-year horizon, but if you haven't picked the right funds, you might be left with less than a fixed deposit return. The first on his list is the L&T Small Cap Fund. Hold or sell?
It is is a very inopportune time to sell, and any market rebound, this fund should recover smartly. But the kind of time frame, I think it is about time to course correct. He should sell this fund, not wait for it to correct. He should rather move into something which is more stable, more generic, mainstream than a small cap fund.
Next one on his list is the ING Global Real Estate Fund. Now, we keep talking about taking specific exposures here. First of all, real estate right now is a very, very negative sector to be in as far as the market is concerned. And a global real estate fund, would you suggest you continue investing in this fund?
The story was good, but it never turned out to be a reasonable, return generating thing. It did not, translate into performance for investors. I would say that, the kind of anxiety which we see globally than in India, it is a sell. It's an immediate sell.
Right, the SBI Blue Chip Fund is the next on his list today. Hold on to this one.
Another relatively new, launched at close to the peak of the market in 2006-7, and a disappointing fund, a sell.
Right, and the last on his list is the Tata Tax Advantage. If he started this in 2005, there's no lock-in anymore. So can he pull his money out at this point? Would you advise that?
This is relatively, okay fund, and I would say if he is working on rebuilding his portfolio and getting started all over again, this should also be a sell because it's not a compelling proposition.
Coming up on the other side of this break, Virendra Kumar is going to tell us whether Reliance Equity Opportunities is a fund we should be investing in now. We also find out if NCDs or non-convertible debentures are better options than fixed deposits. That's after the break. Don't go anywhere.